Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with some more Age of Mythology Retold. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you a nice beginner-friendly Norse opening. You can use this on all of the Norse gods. I have seen some videos out there that are probably the most efficient, but also the most confusing if you're a new player to the game. So this one might not be 100% efficient, but it is a lot easier and you'll be able to remember it a lot easier as well, trust me. So without further ado, let's unpause and get straight into it. So the first thing you're going to be doing is all of your gatherers are going to be going straight over to the huntable that is available. This one is some hippos. We're going to use the town center to attack as well. And our first gatherer is going to be going over to gold, and they're going to be building an ox cart. So that's the first one that goes over. Next one is going to be a dwarf. So we want to make sure that we get a dwarf queued up, and then we want to go for a gatherer. Your berserk here, just get him to build a house, and then you can get him to start scouting. So your end goal in this is simply to have 7 on food, 7 gatherers on food, 4 dwarves on gold, and 4 gatherers on wood. That is what you want to do. And generally you're going to be going gather a dwarf, gather a dwarf, gather a dwarf. So we now have our second gatherer coming out. She is going to go and make an ox cart, and she's going to go onto the wood. You can see I've immediately queued a dwarf behind, and then I'm going to queue a gatherer after that. So I would recommend turning off just the auto gather when you first load into the game. Keep the option on, of course. But for this instance, you want to kind of just turn it off and go manual. So next gatherer is going to go back onto food. So we've got currently 3 on gold, 1 on wood, and now we're going to have 4 on there. We're now going to queue up another dwarf to go back to the gold. This should work perfectly. You should see a dwarf available to be able to go on to gold for you. So I should be scouting here with my berserk here, or my Ulfsark, whatever you want to call him. But we're not doing that just yet. And then we're going to, after the gatherer, we're going to go ahead and queue in another dwarf. This gatherer back onto food for now. So soon we will have 5 on food, 1 on wood, and then here. And now I'm just going to quickly pause. So when your last dwarf, because you want to end on 4 dwarves on gold. Currently, you can see we've got 4 gathering here, but one of them is a gatherer. So what we want to do, the minute we start seeing the last dwarf being queued up, we just want to move this gatherer off and put them on to wood, ideally. That's what we want to do. So whether we can put them on a straggler tree or whether we move this gatherer all the way over here, we can do either or. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to just click this gatherer, make sure to right click the ox cart. Sometimes it can get a bit buggy, and go ahead and move that gatherer over there. And then the final dwarf is going to come out on the gold. And then after that, we're just solely going to be creating gatherers at this point, and all of them are going to go over to the huntable over here. So by all means, you can just right click and you can auto create gatherers. It's up to you. And we want to do this until we've got 7. Right, now we have enough to drop a temple. So we're going to put that down. There we go. Temple is now going down. Lovely stuff. You can put that wherever you want. If you want to put it in base, that's fine. If you want to put it aggressively, if you're going for a rush, that's fine. Now you want to queue. You've got 7 on food, so you don't need to do any more. You've got 2 more to come onto wood. And we're going to get those over to wood. There we go. Temple is now down, and we're going to use our berserk to go off and scout. And we've got the last gatherer coming in here. Okay, so let's just pause. We are pretty much at 380 food. We're just about ready now to get into the second age. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We have finished on 7, 4, and 4. Hopefully that all makes sense. Pretty much at the start, you're simply queuing a gatherer first. You're just going gather a dwarf, gather a dwarf, gather a dwarf. There's no gather a dwarf, gather a dwarf. It's not confusing. It's just gather a dwarf until you have 4 dwarves on gold. After that, it's just full-on gatherers that you create. And that is it. And all you need to do is just end up on 744, and you should, as I'm on 780 here, I'm a little bit behind, but you could force drop off if you wanted to be. We're just going to wait just a little bit here. Wait for that last drop off. There it is. And now we're ready to go with whatever we want to. So let's go for SETI, for example, and boom, there we go. So it should be around maybe 3 minutes 15 that you start to click up, and that should be all good. And that is the opening for you to start getting into the second age. Anything after that, ladies and gents, I would probably say that what you want to do is immediately start permanently creating dwarves. Put them on auto queue. And you kind of want to end up with 8 dwarves on gold, and then your decision after that is entirely up to you what you want to do. That's kind of how I play. But guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know down in the comments below if there's anything I missed, anything you disagree with. Do you think that was a slow age up? I think it's a nice beginner-friendly opening for Norse. I would say that Norse are the hardest to open with, so hopefully this has been useful. And of course, ladies and gents, I will catch you in the next video or the next stream. I will catch you later. Bye.